What if I told you that a forgotten spice, smaller than your thumbnail, could bring life back to your body and awaken an erection in just 60 seconds? That no matter your age, your medications, or your past disappointments, one bite could begin to restore the strength you thought was lost forever. I know I sound unbelievable, but stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change everything. My name is Dr. Lauren Hart. I've spent over 3 decades helping men over 60 regain what the years and the system quietly stole from them: confidence, circulation, vitality, and the ability to feel like a man again, not through expensive prescriptions or tricks, but by unlocking what the body still remembers when you give it the right tools. And here's the twist. The solution is not a new breakthrough, nor a high-tech device. It is a spice that has been hidden in plain sight, one that your ancestors used before intimacy, and that science now confirms works better than anyone imagined. The irony is that you've probably passed by it in your kitchen hundreds of times without ever knowing what it could do. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how chewing this spice for just 60 seconds can open your blood vessels, reduce the stress that is crushing your testosterone, fight gum disease that blocks circulation, and help you sleep more deeply so that your hormones recover naturally. I will guide you step by step, and I promise that by the end of this, you will know exactly how to use it and what to expect in your first 7, 14, and 30 days. Before we dive into this powerful method, take a moment to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. This way, you won't miss any of the natural health tools I create specifically for men like you. And if this message speaks to you, write a 1 in the comments. If not, write a 0, so I know how to better serve you. Let's start with the heart of this discovery, because none of this works without understanding what makes this small spice so powerful. The secret lies in a natural compound hidden inside each bud called eugenol. This ingredient is the reason why your blood starts flowing, your vessels begin to relax, and your body starts responding like before, maybe even better. Let me explain how eugenol works, the secret compound that makes everything tick. I will never forget the first time a patient looked me in the eyes and said, "Doctor, I just want to feel like myself again." He wasn't talking about abs or running marathons. He was talking about intimacy, confidence, strength, the quiet strength a man has when his body still responds as it should. That's what led me to explore natural alternatives. And that's when I repeatedly came back to a powerful compound: eugenol. Eugenol is found in high concentrations in cloves. And when you chew 1 or 2 cloves, the released oils contain this remarkable substance. But eugenol doesn't just stay in your mouth, it enters the bloodstream through the mucous membranes, almost immediately. What it does next is where the magic begins. Eugenol acts as a vasodilator, meaning it helps your blood vessels relax and open up, especially the narrow, stubborn vessels that supply your sexual organs. After age 60, these vessels tend to stiffen and lose flexibility. That's why blood doesn't flow like it used to. Eugenol works like a natural massage for the arteries, gently opening the way and allowing blood to move freely again, without forcing or being artificial. Just an awakening of what your body once did effortlessly. What makes this even more powerful is that eugenol stimulates the production of nitric oxide, the same compound that those little blue pills try to mimic. But this is not chemistry, it's biology, and it happens naturally, without side effects, headaches, or subsequent crashes. Many men describe a gentle warmth, a sensation of circulation returning in minutes. It's subtle, but powerful. And if this is what a single compound can do, wait until you hear what this spice does against the stress that has been silently destroying your testosterone for years. Let's talk about that next. Why erections weaken. After 60 and how cloves fight back. I've had countless men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s come into my office with a downcast look, a low voice, whispering the same thing. It's just not working like it used to. I always tell them it's not a personal failure. It's not shameful. It's biology. As we age, the small blood vessels that sustain erections begin to narrow and stiffen, losing elasticity. Years of stress, processed foods, inflammation, and lack of movement begin to take their toll. The result is that blood doesn't flow like it used to, and without that flow, an erection simply doesn't happen. But here's the part that most doctors never say out loud. These changes are not permanent, they are reversible. That's where cloves come in, and why they are such an important and powerful ally for older men. Remember the compound we talked about. Eugenol not only relaxes blood vessels, but also helps to restore the flexibility of the inner walls of these vessels. Think of it like cleaning a rusty pipe and making it smooth again. Blood begins to flow easier, more completely, and to where it should go. Some of my patients have told me that after just a few weeks of using this method daily, they woke up with morning erections for the first time in years. Not because of a pill, not a miracle, but because circulation finally had a chance to work again. This is the beauty of this natural method. It doesn't force your body. It just gives it permission to return to its original design. But here's the thing. Even with perfect blood flow, an invisible force can shut everything down before it starts, and it's probably been silently sabotaging you for decades. Let's uncover that next. 3 ways to do the 60-second clove method. Step by step. You know the best solutions are often the simplest ones. And this method I'm about to share has helped many of my older patients feel like themselves again, without prescriptions, uncomfortable doctor visits, or pharmacy lines. Just a small, intentional act you can do in your kitchen. And best of all, it only takes 1 minute. Here's exactly how I tell my patients to do it. 1. Preparation. Take 2 or 3 whole cloves, not powder, but whole, dried cloves. Ideally organic, but any good quality clove will do. The first 30 seconds. The release. Place them between your teeth on your back teeth, where you chew the hardest. Chew slowly until you feel them breaking open. And here's the key. Don't rush. Let the oils coat your tongue and mouth. Breathe through your nose. Stay relaxed during the first 30 seconds. Just keep those broken pieces in your mouth. 1. Let your saliva mix with the oils. You might feel a strong warming sensation. It's intense, yes, but that's a good sign. It means the eugenol is being absorbed through the sensitive membranes inside your mouth and going straight into your bloodstream. 2. The second 30 seconds. The absorption. Then, start chewing slowly, without forcing, just enough to completely break down the clove. Keep it in your mouth for another 30 seconds, working the oils through your saliva. That's all. You can swallow the remnants or spit them out. Both are fine. What makes this method so effective is how quickly it works. Some men say they feel the difference in minutes. Their heads feel clearer, they feel more present, more grounded in their bodies. But chewing cloves isn't just about blood flow and energy. It also unlocks something that most men over 60 desperately need and probably don't even know is missing. We'll talk about that next. When to use the technique for best results. One of the questions I get asked all the time, usually after a man tries the clove method for the first time and feels that unmistakable warmth, is, when should I use it for the best results? The truth is, timing can make a difference. Like anything powerful, It's not just about doing it, it's about when to do it. Think of it like tuning an instrument. You want everything to be in harmony. Your hormones, your nervous system, your blood flow. For many of my patients, nighttime is the golden hour, about an hour before sleep, when the day ends and the mind begins to calm down. Chewing cloves at this time helps relax the nervous system and prepares the body for better sleep. And it's not just rest. Deep, restorative sleep is when the body produces the most testosterone. This is the foundation. Nightly use sets the stage for the next day. More energy, clearer focus, and yes, stronger morning erections. But don't neglect the morning. Using this method early on an empty stomach helps reactivate circulation and sets a calm, yet alert tone for the day. Some men like to use it before exercising or walking. Others prefer it 30 to 45 minutes before intimacy, for that extra feeling of presence, connection, and stamina. The key is to listen to your body and be consistent. Daily use builds momentum over time. This isn't a one-time trick. It's a daily investment in your vitality. And if you're wondering how such a simple act can lead to such profound changes, it's helpful to understand what might be holding your body back in the first place. There's a silent force that most men never suspect, and it's been stealing your strength from the inside out. Let's expose it in the next topics. But that's just the beginning. Let's talk about stress. I can't count how many good men I've treated. Men who eat well, stay active, follow all the right advice, but still feel like something is wrong. Energy is low, desire comes and goes. And when it comes to intimacy, their bodies simply don't respond like they used to. That's when I ask, how is your stress? Usually the room falls silent. They sigh. And then I hear the truth. Worries about money, health, marriage, aging. It's a heavy burden. And most don't realize how much this silent pressure is destroying their masculinity from the inside out. You see, chronic stress floods your body with cortisol, a hormone that's supposed to help in times of danger, but not stay elevated all day, every day. In today's world, most men over 60 live in a near constant state of tension. And here's the cruel part. Cortisol and testosterone cannot coexist at high levels. When one goes up, the other falls. This means the more stressed you are, the less testosterone your body produces, and your sexual response weakens. That's where cloves become more than just a circulation booster. They help regulate the stress response. The compound beta-caryophyllene found in cloves binds to receptors in the brain that signal safety and calm. In minutes, you can feel a release in your chest, a mental clarity, and a relaxation of the pressure that has accumulated for years. And as cortisol decreases, testosterone can finally rise naturally without forcing. You can start to feel more like yourself without even noticing the change at first, but it is real. And there's another powerful benefit of this stress relief, one that works silently while you sleep and may be the missing piece in your hormonal recovery. Chewing cloves equals better sleep, which equals more testosterone. If there's one thing I've seen over and over again with my older patients, it's that this is the moment when sleep begins to crumble, and everything else starts to crumble along with it. You can eat well, exercise, take all the supplements, but if your sleep is interrupted, your hormones don't stand a chance. That's because most of your testosterone, your repair work, your healing, happens at night, specifically during deep, uninterrupted REM sleep. But how many men over 60 really get that kind of rest? Many tell me they're awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, their minds racing, or they fall asleep fast, but wake up multiple times throughout the night, never feeling completely rested. And then they wonder, why is my energy low? Why does desire feel like a memory? Why can't I keep going like before? The answer, most of the time, is poor quality sleep. That's where cloves come in, not just as a circulatory aid, but as a powerful ally for the nervous system. The compounds in cloves, especially eugenol and beta-caryophyllene, not only relax blood vessels, but also calm the part of the brain that regulates your sleep cycle. When chewed at night, about an hour before bed, the clove helps facilitate deeper, more stable sleep. Many men tell me they start dreaming again, wake up with more clarity, more energy, and, most of the time, stronger morning erections. This is no coincidence. It's testosterone doing its job again. So, if you've been struggling to feel rested or wondering why your drive and vigor have disappeared, start paying attention to how you sleep. Because improving this area can send a wave of healing throughout your entire system. But cloves don't stop there. What if I told you that even your gums and the health of your mouth could be secretly harming your erection strength? Let's uncover that surprising link next. Gum disease may be destroying your erections, and cloves solve that too. It might sound strange at first, but I've seen it too many times to ignore. A man comes into my office complaining of low energy, weak erections, and no clear explanation as to why. Blood pressure is good, tests are decent, but then I ask a simple question. How is your oral health? And that's where the truth comes out. Bleeding gums, receding gums, bad breath that won't go away. Most men never imagined that what happens in their mouth could affect what happens in the bedroom. But the science is clear. Everything is connected. Your mouth is a gateway to your circulatory system. When you have gum disease, whether you're aware of it or not, the bacteria from the mouth enter the bloodstream, travel through the body, creating silent inflammation that damages the blood vessels responsible for erections. It's like trying to pass water through a hose full of mud. The pressure might be there, but nothing flows clean. Studies have even shown that men with advanced gum disease are up to 70% more likely to experience erectile dysfunction. This is no coincidence. It's biology. This is where cloves become more than a useful spice. They become a daily detoxifier. Clove oil is one of the most powerful natural antiseptics in nature. When you chew whole cloves, these antibacterial compounds act immediately, starting to neutralize the harmful bacteria in your mouth before they reach your bloodstream. It's fast and effective, and sometimes you can even feel it working just by chewing. It's one of the simplest, yet most neglected steps to restoring whole body health. And when your mouth is clean, your blood flows cleaner too. But now that your vessels are opening, your hormones are increasing, and your systems are working better, what should you expect next? Let me explain what happens week by week, what to expect in 7, 14, and 30 days. One of the most encouraging parts of working with older men is seeing how their expressions change over time. I'll never forget a man in his 60s who came to me tired, skeptical, and ashamed of what he had lost. We started the clove method together, and I asked him to be consistent for just 1 month. After 1 week, he called and said, "Doctor, something is happening. I feel more awake in the morning." That was just the beginning. In the first 7 days, most men notice subtle changes. A warm feeling in the body, a clearer head, slightly deeper sleep, a little more motivation to move or walk. It's not dramatic, but it's there. And it's the sign that your body is starting to respond. By day 14, things usually get better. Energy increases, mornings feel different, more alert, sometimes with the return of something you haven't felt in years. Spontaneous morning erections. It's not magic. It's circulation returning to normal and testosterone starting to work again. By day 30, many men tell me they feel like different people. Not only do erections return with more consistency and strength, but confidence changes. They carry themselves differently. Their wives or partners notice, even if intimacy hasn't been fully resumed. The connection, the emotional presence begin to rebuild. And that's the true goal. To feel yourself again. To live in a body that feels alive, not stagnant or shut down. But remember, this is just the beginning, because once you unlock this strength, the real question is, how do you grab it and protect it for the years to come? In our last message, we will talk about how to turn this simple habit into a lasting foundation for lifelong vitality. Conclusion: the strength you were waiting for to feel again. I've spent over 30 years sitting with men like you. Men who silently carry the weight of fading energy, lost confidence, and the fear that their best days are behind them. But I promise you, that's not the case. This simple habit of chewing a few cloves for 60 seconds can do more than just improve blood flow, calm your nerves, restore deep sleep, revive testosterone, and even clean your mouth to protect your heart and your masculinity. I've seen it awaken circulation, recover desire, and most importantly, give men back to themselves. If you've made it this far, your body is already asking for a change, and now you know what to give it. The decision is yours. Continue waiting for a miracle, or start building one with your own hands. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to start. Start tonight, and let your strength return one day at a time.